Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Are you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Game number one. We're finally here, boys. Steve versus Chris. Best out of 11, first to 6. We are on Hack Freeze is over. We have Chris, top left, the red player. Steve, the yellow player, bottom right. This is a show match. The monthly tournament's donation goal is bottom left. We're trying to save up money to get monthly tournaments going, boys. Need your help to get that done. The goal is $150, but we'll settle for 100, boys. If we get there, we'll get a tournament going. No worries. Oh, the link? It's !donate. !donate. Thanks a lot. Okay, that drone was clicked down. Chris's drone is still roaming around here, bottom right. Let me see. Can I do it from my phone? Hope so. Let's see. Where is chat? !donate. There it is, boys. Thank you, thank you. So Steve fixes his miner here. Chris is doing some landscaping to get a ref down here. I like the build. He's already on double war. And his eco is doing very well. Here's the double war from Steve. He was delayed due to that service depot. And my miner count isn't working. Oh, I know already why. Oh my goodness. I need to fix the text files after this, boys. I still have it on oils for the last Blitz game that we did. All miners are on the right side for Steve, indeed. Triple war now for Steve. Thanks for the follow, New York Johnny. Welcome to the stream. So triple war for Steve. He is going, no, he's not going broke. He's keeping it really tight there on the eco. While Chris is doing pretty well here. Stretching towards mid. Oh, Nub in the house, let's go. I need to fix the miner count, but other than that, it should be working fine. Steve, does he have enough? He doesn't have enough fodder either. Chris is out tanking and has more fodder. Chris goes in. Chris cleaning up. But the miners has fodder. The miners at fodder saved Steve there. He did not lose a miner. One miner is AFK though. So Steve holds. Miners are back at work. 7 miners for Steve. No, 8 miners for Steve. 8 miners for Chris. He is in mid. And we're all squared up, boys. Steve moving MCV to the left on triple war. One miner ahead is Chris. He's on 9 miners. Steve will split on the left. Split unnoticed by Chris at the moment. Going after the MCV. Not repairing. Steve's MCV gets sold as well. Chris pushing down mid. Yeah, Steve lost his, Chris lost his MCV. Really close here at mid, but Steve takes it in the mid. So both players losing MCV. But Chris is still on triple wall, one miner AFK. Pretty equal still. Even though now they're pretty equal, boys. But Chris is in the mid. He's got a lot of eco coming in. Steve grouping up better than Chris here. Out tanking by 4. Bringing in Connies is Chris. Yes, Steve long distancing here. He will run out of this ore while Chris still in the middle. The longer the game goes on, the more it will favor Chris, I think. But at the moment, Steve out-tanking by a lot. Steve might be able to end here. He's out-tanking by 6 tanks. Jay Smoke in the house. Steve doing really well here. Keeps his tank number advantage. He will push. Gets the cliff advantage. Veteran goes down. Chris will hold, but in the middle, 3 tanks taking on a miner. 2 miners. Chris is dead broke. Steve will bring in his miners. Chris is still dead broke. Still with a miner AFK at the top. That's hurting Chris a lot. Steve staying behind his miner. Very nice tank riddle there from Steve. Steve bringing in all of his miners now, so he's not producing, boys. He's dead broke. Oh, he's gonna long distance here on the left side. Oh, it's gonna take a while before Steve gets some eco going, while Chris is still producing. Chris can close up this gap. One miner goes down. Both miners go down. Okay, here comes the cash injection from Steve. The miners are returning. Miner goes down. But Chris now in the lead slightly with the tank numbers. And he's gonna target these miners. Chris doing really well here. Steve is broke again. He's not gonna get another cash injection. Miners go down. GG is cold. And Chris will take game number 1 as the elite comes out. Well played by these players. GG.
Player defeated.
Wow, very, very nice. Alright, to the moon. Let's go. Steve versus Chris. Game number 2. While I'm speechless, boys. Unbelievable. We got our goal in one day thanks to Appledrop Larry and Nightshades. Appledrop Larry with the $10 donations. Nightshades with $140 for us to do a monthly tournament. Well, the first one will be in November. We're going to organize something sweet, boys. Let's go. We're on Black Hawks. I need to pronounce that really well, really carefully. Black Hawks. We've got Chris on the right side, Steve on the left. Yeah, Appledrop Larry got us there too with the $10 donation. Of course, Appledrop Larry, VIP. Nightshade just becoming a VIP as well. Let's go. Bro, I was how do you say? Oh! Drone! Drone! Drone gets into Steve's. Oh my goodness. Dog block. Gets the MCV and it's over. Game number 2 goes to Chris. GG cold. That was a quick one, boys.
Player defeated.
Game number 2 goes to Chris. Oh my goodness. Beautiful map. Impasse, boys, is Monster's pick for game number 3. Impasse by instinct. We have the yellow player, Monster, bottom right, and we have Chris, the red player, top left. Impasse. Start off with an oil for an expansion. You can wall this oil if you want. And Steve has his oil here, and he's walling the oil. It's really crucial to get that expansion going at some point, not lose your oil to an NG or anything. And boys, I'm still speechless that we reached our donation goal. Thanks a lot, boys. Get some more games in. Steve with the MCV move. Oh no, Chris with the MCV move. Steve with the MCV move as well. So we reached our donation goal. We're gonna get a tournament going in November. Thanks to Apple and Mr. Nightshades. We even reached it under an hour. Yeah, bro. Para from Steve at the top. Para from Nightshade. Hitting this power plant. Oh, gets a miner as well. This is a nice hit here. Steve is low power, trying to build a service depot. Oh, that was a nice threat. Can Steve get the service depot up in time while being low power, boys? He's on 1 tick of health. That miner might go. It goes down. Yeah, that was a great move by Chris. Not sure if Doof is up to it. We can, as 4th series. Yeah, bro. Let's keep it going, boys. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Who's gonna play? Oh! Chris is targeting the conscript. He will lose this battle. This Connie taking a lot of hit. Chris was not clicking on the tanks. What series do we have more, boys? We've got Steve versus Chris right now at the moment. Marco versus Osama after. And then after Marco versus Osama, we have Knife versus Zed. Do we have more for tonight, boys? Well, Chris goes in here. Double war, triple war now for Chris. He's on triple wars, boys. He's still here in Monster's base with a para as well. They're equal on amount of tanks, but the father now coming in for Steve. Oh, Steve caught at the war factory there. There is a sentry, but is it enough to hold? Chris doing very well in another para. Steve might be down 3-0 here. Losing miners left and right. He's gonna go broke as well while Chris is on 10K. Sells the service depot.
Defeated.
And Monster goes down. And we're 3-0. Para drop for Nightshade. Tiger Bay by Distant Q. This is a best out of 11, boys. First to 6, Steve is down 3-0. Chris on a 3-game winning streak. Steve needs to win this to stop that train. Chris sending his NG the wrong way here. Needs to get it over here. He's gonna be a little late,
Tech
but
building captured.
and now the tech buildings are captured. He built an extra NG. He built another NG. Okay, it's not going good for Chris here. He's building way too much NGs. Don't think he played this map in a long time. He's gonna send one to take Monster's oil here. So Chris is here, bottom right. One of his miners got droned. Steve is here, top left. Looking to take this oil is Chris, and he will get it. So his extra NGs got used well, but he will lose his airport here on the left. You do not get an under attack alert from your techs. One miner goes down. Two! This one was damaged by the drone. So Steve doing well, getting the miners here. MCV cell from Chris. He's in trouble, boys, but... No, he's not even out tanking here. It's not looking good for Chris here on Tiger Bay. Steve is on 5 miners versus 2 from Chris. Sold MCVs on 1 war factory. No airport for Chris. He's on 9K, only on 1 war factory. That's it. Steve can soon build a second war and outproduce. Double war from Steve. And now Chris going broke. One AFK miner. Only one working on ore. And Steve will be on the board, boys. Taking it on Tiger Bay. So we got ourselves a series. Miner goes down. Chris getting a miner kill here. Chris will be left with 0 miners as Monster goes in here. GG called.
Player defeated.
And Steve is on the board. Steve saying, ew, this map 2 back by Berg. Chris will spawn on the right, Steve on the left. Soph versus Soph still, boys. No allied. I don't expect allied from any of these two. Showmatch best out of 11, boys. First to 6. Chris is halfway there. 3-1 is the score. I'm 100% glad that I was gonna do a tournament. Thanks a lot, Nightshade. Yeah, bro. No worries, bro. We'll handle it. I know these guys. I know their PayPal. Been doing this for 3 years. All is good, boys. All is good. And your generosity is muchly appreciated, boys. We got there, boys. $150 in the bank to organize a tournament in November. And started. Yeah, I have a separate PayPal for the streaming. Steve able to get a Rhino droned here. They're both broke at the exact same time. Steve still building. Well, he was still on miners here. They're both on 5. Six miners for Steve. Chris is on double war factory. Steve is struggling eco-wise, but has recovered now. Should build another war soon, so he'll be on double war. Chris is out tanking at the moment, but not enough to end the game. So Steve 1 miner ahead. Chris 1 war factory ahead, and now Chris is also on the same amount of miners as Steve. Nobody going for the outpost at the top. It's only valuable if you're willing to tack up and get a naval yard and a dreadnought out, but I don't think these boys are going to tack up. They're going to go mass war builds. Steve now on triple war, needs a ref here ASAP. Triple war now for Chris as well. His refs are already placed pretty well. Yeah, Steve needs a ref here. It's going broke. There's the ref. Steve leaving his father behind. And now being chased down by Chris. Steve still struggling for his eco. Goes fourth War Factory. Steve is out tanking. Fourth War Factory MCV cell from Chris. He did not place a ref here. I would have loved him to place a ref here before selling. MCV move from Steve, and Chris goes in. Nice DC from Steve, getting the higher grounds there, and he will clean out Chris's army here. Just moving his tanks just on the top of that hill there. Steve will continue to push here, splits off a few tanks to take care of these miners. Gets a miner kill at the top right. 2 miner kills. And he is still out tanking by a lot. Might group up here. Elite comes out for Steve. It goes down immediately. And more incoming. Reinforcements on the left. 2 war factories go down. And there's still 1 Rhino left attacking the barracks. And more reinforcements coming in. Steve will take this one.
Player defeated.
And it's 3-2 the score. We're on Desert Island, boys, for game number 6 by Flowzak and CNC QM team. Those are the creators of Desert Island. Pretty cool map. Steve spotting in bottom right. We've got Chris top left. Steve now on a 2-game winning streak, closing the gap. It's 3-2. Steve needs this win and he will tie up the series. It is first to 6 in this best out of 11. Let's have a look at the predictions as the players are building up, boys. The predictions were pretty close. 48% on Steve, 52 on Chris. Drone from Chris goes down. Steve looking to find a target with his drone. Steve will repair his drone and try again, while Chris has the rhinos out. Steve now with the rhinos out. They're both... Now, Steve is 1 miner ahead. He's on 7, while Chris is on 6. Double war from Chris. Steve still on a single war factory. Drone goes down from Steve. And Chris being very aggressive here. Gets one Rhino kill for free. Clicking down the Rhinos is Chris. He's out tanking by so much, boys. 10-3. It will soon change to click on miners. Very good tank control here from Chris, but now he's in between all of these miners and a sentry. Steve will hold, but at what cost? Steve still has eco. He's on double war. Does he have enough to hold yet again? More sentries needed. And again, Chris will go after the miners. Chris way ahead here. Move to mid in the meantime as well. Looking very good for Chris. Steve left with 5 miners. He's got 5K in the bank. Chris established in the mid. He's on 3 war factories and 8 miners. And he's not done yet. He will keep on pushing. Clicking down the tanks once again is Chris. War factory goes down and a miner comes in.
Player defeated.
And Steve goes down. GG is called. Game number 7 on the way, boys. Legend with the sub. Let's go, bro. Legend. I spoke to Legend before this stream, boys, and he told me, yeah, just put up a donation alert, a donation goal. Let's see how it goes. Because, yeah, I'm not into asking for donation, but he talked me into it, boys. Just do it. Let's get some more tournaments going. And look at that, Legend. Have you seen? We've already reached our goal of $150, boys, in the first half hour of the stream. Let's go. We got a tournament for November. And I'm going to reset the donation goal to get one in December as well, boys. We got them. We got them, boys. Thanks to Appledrop Larry and Nightshades. OP Legend in the house. It's Knife Online. I don't know. Drones are out. Oh, sneaky sentry behind that war factory. Steve's drone is up here. Chris's drone is hidden there. Thank you, Legend. I missed what he said, but not sure what he said, but I trust my mods, boys. Let's go. Double war factory for Chris. Steve, double war factory. Para from Chris at the top left. One thing you shouldn't do, boys, is trash talk a mod. Right? Am I right or am I right? You shouldn't pick on mods, boys. Guy with a gifted sub to Latov. Let's go. The boys are in. Thanks a lot. Guy with the gifted sub. Much appreciated. Para doesn't get much done here, top left. Meanwhile, Para, top right, being dealt with by Chris. Thank you, Root. As I said before, I trust the mods. I trust you, mods. All is good. Let's keep it clean, boys. Respect each other. That's what we're all about. As huge battle here. Looking good for Steve. Steve cleans up. And he's continuing to push here. What else is going on? Nothing much, boys. 9 tanks against 4. Steve will continue to push. Targets a miner. Gets it. And this time it did backfire on Chris. 2 miners go down and Chris goes down. Rick in the house. Let's go. Game number 8. Chris is still ahead and has been ahead the entire series, boys. The score now 4-3 in Chris's favor. We are on River Divide by Polye. Chris spawning at the bottom right and Steve at the top right. This is an RA2 series, RA2 show match. And I believe in Heroes Revenge, this tech outpost is a tech power plant. The airport is the same. They have an oil on the left side, 1 each. For an expansion to get some more eco going. You can stretch down and get some gems. Beautiful map. I like this map from Polye. Yeah, this is Chris's map pick. Drones are out. Both war factories in base, not at the expansion. Let's go. Tanker with the resub. Oh my goodness, you boys are on it tonight. Everybody got their paycheck, I see. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it a lot. Let's go. A lot of subs coming in today. Let's go. 3 miners each. Double war factory now on the expansion for both players. Same builds, same builds. Drone still not able to find a target yet. Identical builds, boys. But the only thing is, Chris went a miner, 1 extra miner from the war factory, while Steve has switched over to rhinos. So for the first time this series, I believe, Chris, a miner ahead. He's usually the one switching to rhinos earlier. Here's the triple war from Chris. Steve still on double war. He's gonna capture the airport. Let me get my actual paycheck. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Nightshades. Thanks a lot, bro. We will reset it after this series. But we'll wait for your paycheck. 4 war factories for Chris. So he's ahead in war factory and production. And he is ahead now in tank numbers as well as father. Chris spending his money really well, and he will, he will get caught up here. He does pull out without losing anything. So 5 minus to 7. Oh, weird pathing. Pathing issues for Chris. Oh my goodness. And that advantage is given away by the pathing here. Oh, Chris was ahead by so much. Pathing issues, and now they're all tied up in tank numbers. Chris, however, is on 5 war factories versus 3 from Monster. Monster's still in it, but for how long? Chris's eco is doing very well for 5 war factories here. Steve baited that pathing, says Apple Drop Larry. And Steve is stacking up while Chris is on 5 war factories. Drones take out the Desolators and Chris will keep on pushing. Needs to click down the tanks because the miners are used as fodder by Steve here. IC is out for Steve, still holding on. MCV cell from Chris. Chris is dead broke. His miners are moving, they're not mining. Did he TT them? He TT them, boys. Oh no! Unfortunate TT there from Chris, bringing over all of his miners while he's dead broke. And this misclick might seal his fate here on River Divide. As a Desolator comes into play, IC will be ready soon. Steve is dead broke though. 2 AFK miners, oh my goodness, both of them. Okay, because Steve went broke, has 2 AFK miners, Chris is still in the game, boys. But for how long? The IC will be ready soon. IC is ready and popped. Steve will chase down these rhinos and Elite comes out for Steve. What a game! The turns have tabled at least twice in this game. There's a paradrop here. Mistakes were made. Indeed. Para doesn't get much done. Elite Steve has an Elite still. Oh, not for long. Elite goes down. They're still pretty much equal. Steve is broke. Sells a war factory, sells 2 war factories. Chris still in it and pushing on for the win. Dreadnought is out for Steve. IC will be ready in 10 seconds. Can Chris get anything done here? IC is popped. And the Dreadnought gets a war factory. So Chris down to 2 war factories. Steve teching up might be the winning move here for Steve. Oh, what a close game. Goes after the barracks and 1 war factory is still in range for that Dreadnought, but Chris pushing in. Does Chris have enough? Gets a free miner here. Steve not getting this last of this war factory here. Chris still pushing in. Reinforcements incoming. IC will be ready in 1.5 minutes. Steve holds barely. I hear a Ivan. Where is the Ivan? Gets the barracks. Chris still on double war. Steve now using the Dreadnoughts. IC is ready and popped. Nice IC, gets the ref as well. Okay, the Dread finally gets the ref. He can get these 2 buildings as well if he moves the Dread into position. And now Steve is getting way ahead. And Chris says, GG, we're all tied up. Game number 9 on the way, boys. We are on fierce battle.
What is going on, Doofus? 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 What is going? Oh my God!
By a Chinese map maker. Instinct, fierce battle. This is game number 9 of this best out of 11. We're all tied up. We've got Steve spawning in top right, Chris bottom left. They've got an oil each, and they can build up these oils to get the gems indeed. What else? Not much else. You can also spawn here and here, I believe, on fierce battle. It's a beautiful map.
What the fuck is this build? What is
Already?
This build?
Already? Double.
Look at this mining.
There's 2 sound clips playing simultaneously. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. You know, I'm happy for you, MJ. You got that French cannon off just before my MCV died.
You got the French cannon off just before my MCV died, boys. That was some FFGs with the boys back in the days. Chris clicking down the drone. Steve clicking down the drone. 2 miners each, both on gems for both players. Follow Pato. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We're in game number 9 in this best out of 11. There's a second drone from Steve. Really want to get a miner droned here. He will go for the miner on ore, and it will go down. Oh, that sound clip was perfect. Oh, that duck sound was just in time, boys. Oh, beautiful. Chris being really offensive here. Sentry out for Steve. But clicking down the tanks is Chris. He doesn't care there's a sentry there. Clicking down the tanks and more incoming. Will he ult the war? He goes for the miners. 1 miner will go down. And now clicking down the war factory. That's Steve's only war factory. Gets sold. Oh, Steve sells MCV. GG is called. And Chris will be on match point. Game number 10. We are on Montana DMZ. For game number 10, Steve needs this win to force a game number 11. It is match point for Chris. Right after this, we've got Osama versus Marco, Euro's Revenge Series, boys. So don't leave. And what is this monthly tournament? Monthly tournament, boys, where we will be doing... I'm raising money to do monthly tournaments to keep that going, boys. And today, within half an hour, we reached the goal of $150 for a tournament in November. We will reset that donation goal to raise money for December as well, boys. Hopefully, we can keep that one going. Anything else after Marco versus Osama? Yes, sir. We got Zed versus Knife as well. I think it's going to be Euro's Revenge. I'm not sure. The boys need to let me know. Yep, Knife versus Zed after Marco versus Osama, boys. Chris's miner got droned. And now he's looking... Okay, baits 2 miners. He will save that miner. Chris gets the miner coming out of the war factory, but Steve already had the service depot out. Tanks are already out for Chris. So Steve will be a miner ahead, but Chris going in with the para. Sentry goes down. This is a hard push by Chris. He will get this war factory. Oh, Steve! No, he will not get it yet. Can Steve hold? Steve will hold, boys. Oh! If that War Factory went down, okay, there's a second war for Monster now. If that War Factory went down, it might have been GG already. But Steve holding. Carnies can take a lot of hits by the tanks, boys. Unbelievable. Double War Factory each. Okay. Nice ref there from Chris, while Steve goes triple war. They're equal in amount of tanks, but Chris has more fodder. Para from Chris on the barracks. Steve goes in. Oh, Steve. It's over. I think it's over, boys. GG's called.
Player defeated.
And Chris will take the series. GG's 6-4, the final score. GG's, well played, boys. Well done. And Chris showing us that he's still got it, boys. Antenna DMZ.